Hello everyone, welcome to this special year-in recap episode of the iWoman Report. I'm Kathleen Trigg-Jones coming to you live from our New York City Broadcast Center. Today, we're going to give a special shout out to all of the amazing accomplishments that we've seen from women this year. From the Queen Bee, Beyonce that is, to Taylor Swift, the world has never seen two women effect global change the way these two divas have, and exceptional businesswomen they are as well. Both experienced a record-breaking year not just for themselves, but for women across the globe. After announcing her 10th studio album, Midnights, and then later her world tour, the Eras Tour, it was hard to go anywhere without hearing about or seeing Taylor Swift. Then, when tickets for her tour went on sale, millions of fans essentially broke Ticketmaster, making it so difficult to get tickets that people ended up paying thousands of dollars for a chance to see her perform.
People would come up to me and they'd be like, "You're gonna just like do a show with like all the albums in it?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be called the Eras Tour. See you there."
Then she went on to hit huge milestones throughout the year, including becoming the highest grossing tour of all time. She became the woman with the most Billboard #1 albums in history. She became the first person to become a billionaire based solely on music sales and performances. And she was the most streamed artist in the world on both Spotify and Apple Music. She was also listed as the 5th most powerful woman in the world by Forbes. And of course, she was given the title of Person of the Year by Time magazine. Similarly, Beyonce had a year like no other. Between these two icons of the music industry, they've generated $9 billion in economic activity in North America alone. $9 billion. Both had similar trajectories this year, however, each with their own successes and cultural impact. Beyonce's concert film Renaissance, a film by Beyonce, opened at $21 million in its first weekend, making it one of the top 10 highest earning concert films of all time.
I have nothing to prove to anyone at this point. We are creating our own world. This is my reward. Nobody can take that away from me.
Additionally, her 56-stop Renaissance tour, which I happened to be at in Washington, D.C., it was incredible. Well, it became the highest grossing ever by a black artist. She also made a quick stop at the Grammys to become the most decorated Grammy winner ever, with a total of 32 wins. Another force to be reckoned with in the athletic world is tennis player and U.S. Open champion Coco Gauff. I was honored to be able to see her victory when she won the women's singles match at this year's tournament at just 19 years old. I feel like I watched her grow up, don't you? This made her the youngest woman to win the U.S. Open since Serena Williams did so in 1999. Not to mention that Coco did more to normalize the need by some to take a mental health break than anyone in her age bracket. Since her win, she's become the highest earning female athlete, and her impact on the sports is palpable. When it was announced that Gauff was a finalist in the U.S. Open, ticket sales spiked 20% overnight. Everyone vying for a chance to see the newest face of women's tennis do her thing. How many of you have seen the Barbie movie?
Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Ken.
I have to admit, I've tried a couple times to watch it. I didn't make it through it, but I'm definitely going to get to it over the holidays, I promise. But director Greta Gerwig is an established filmmaker with hits like Lady Bird and Little Women. However, nothing has made the financial and cultural impact that her summer 2023 film Barbie has had. This became one of 2023's most anticipated events at the theaters, where films Oppenheimer and Barbie came out on the very same day, prompting a weekend event dubbed Barbenheimer. Well, Barbie itself made $1.4 billion at the global box office, becoming the highest grossing film of all time for a solo female director. And it took home the top spot as Warner Brothers' highest grossing film, surpassing The Dark Knight. How many of you played with Barbies? Like, didn't you play with Barbies growing up? I admit, I played with Barbies until I was like 16 probably. I might even still have some in my basement, I don't know. Anyway, Halle Bailey stepped into the shoes, or rather fins, of a beloved Disney princess when the live action The Little Mermaid premiered. Although met with controversy by some over having a black woman play Ariel, the overwhelming majority was thrilled to see representation in a classic Disney princess, with many families sharing sweet reactions of their young daughters seeing someone on screen who looked like them. Speaking of Halle Bailey, another big movie released this year is the newest adaptation of Alice Walker's The Color Purple. This time as a movie musical. Fantasia is reprising her Broadway role as Celie. The film was produced by icons like Oprah Winfrey, Quincy Jones, Steven Spielberg, and author Alice Walker.
You seem like trouble.
I come here out of respect. But if there ain't none to get, that show ain't none to get.
In the age of streaming services and social media, it's rare that we see a hit TV show coming from network television these days. Writer, creator, and star of ABC's hit show Abbott Elementary, Quinta Brunson, has brought back broadcast television with her smash hit, reminiscent of shows like The Office and Parks and Rec, by using a mockumentary-style format. Coming up on its third season to be released in February, Quinta does not seem to be slowing down anytime soon. She's once again, for the second year in a row, the most nominated black woman at the Emmys for Best Comedy Series, Best Actress in a Comedy Series, and Best Guest Actress for a comedy series for her performance hosting Saturday Night Live. A woman who needs no introduction is Olympic gymnast Simone Biles, who never fails to break a record or make an impact on the sport she's made her name in. Her record-breaking year comes after a 2-year hiatus during which she married Green Bay Packers player Jonathan Owens and was presented with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. At her return to the U.S. World Championships, she added 2 more gold medals to her hardware collection, as well as a silver, cementing her title as the most decorated gymnast in history, with a combined Olympic and World's medal total of 37. Wow. During the World's competition, she became the first woman to do the Yurchenko double pike on the vault, prompting it to be renamed after her. This is the 5th skill that has been named after Simone Biles. I will always have a soft spot in my heart for Simone, as she has spoken out openly about her time spent in foster care with her younger siblings. As you know, my not-for-profit Trig House was created to care for and raise money to support those who've spent their entire lives in the system. I would love to do a collaboration with you, Simone, sometime. If you're listening, hit me up. But anyway, thank you for being an advocate and for making such a difference in the world. I am so honored to be able to highlight this next accomplishment of women, because it's for 2 ladies who I've been blessed to work with and cross paths with throughout my career. Queen Latifah and Dionne Warwick were both given Lifetime Achievement Awards during this year's Kennedy Center Honors for their contributions to American culture.
Ladies first, ladies first.
The culture, myself, we thank you.
You know, I just have a lot of deep love and respect for everything that she's given to the culture.
Thank you for being an inspiration. We salute you.
That felt incredible. I mean, my heroes of hip hop on the stage honoring me is like unbelievable.
Oh, and I also worked for President Biden, so it's extra special to see him being the one to lift up 2 of my favorite leading ladies. By the way, if you didn't know, Queen Latifah was my co-executive producer on my docuseries, We Are the Joneses, which aired around the world, and you can watch season 1 right here on iWomanTV. That's iWoman.tv. And if you have not seen Dionne Warwick's documentary, do yourself a favor. I was so fortunate to be able to be with her at the screening when it was first released at Tribeca last year. And it is so incredibly amazing. She's a powerhouse. She was a change maker.
I'm appreciative in that they're taking the time to discover me and find out what I'm really all about.
I had a chance to spend her birthday with her a few years ago as well, where we presented her a cake and I got to introduce her on stage. So congratulations, both Queen Latifah and the diva herself, Dionne Warwick. Amongst the athletes and celebrities that we've been highlighting this episode is a woman with a brave story and someone that I've been very lucky to call a friend, and we've been lucky to call part of the iWomanTV family. Cassidy Arkin and her mother, Sandra Rogers Hare, recently released a docuseries which is another must-see over the holidays when you have some downtime. It's an unbelievable story about their time in a California cult called Synanon.
I'm Cassidy, and I was born in a cult.
What?
In a cult?
You know, I remember first meeting Cassidy a few years ago, and right here in our studio actually, and her sharing her story with me, and I couldn't even begin to fathom what it must have been like to be born into a cult. Thankfully, she connected with one of my dear friends and one of the most amazing female directors of all time, Gita Gandhar, to get this story told, and it is streaming on Paramount+, so make sure you check that out. A bit of sad news in the world of trailblazers. Sandra Day O'Connor is an iconic life that we lost this year at the age of 93. Justice O'Connor was the first woman ever to serve on the Supreme Court. We know her legacy will live on in all the women who currently serve and will serve in the future to make our justice system more equal for all. The former Supreme Court Justice was honored at the Supreme Court ahead of her official memorial service. Attendees included the Vice President Kamala Harris and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff, as well as the current justices of the Supreme Court. This year has clearly been a big one for women, and I have no doubt that 2024 is going to be an even bigger and better one as we continue to empower and lift each other up. Before I leave you today, though, to celebrate these amazing holidays and ring in the new year, I want to leave you with my final thought of the day for 2023. And an affirmation as well to get us all through the next couple of weeks while we prepare for another prosperous year of accomplishments. They say this is the year of the woman. I say it is the century of the woman. You know, women have been fighting to be seen, heard, and respected since the beginning of mankind. Isn't it amazing to have a front row seat to watch the countless accomplishments and the global impact that women have been making around the world in every single industry? You know you're successful when everyone suddenly wants to be a part of everything that you're doing. There was a time when we couldn't even vote. Now look at us. We're leading many local, state, and national offices around the world, not to mention sports and entertainment. Can you imagine, though, just how much more powerful we can be if we go into this next year extremely intentional about lifting one another up, supporting one another, looking for, or better yet, creating opportunities for one another? Let everyone else fight over politics while we come together as women and figure out what's needed to ensure every single human being is treated equally around the world. War is no more, and this planet that we've been blessed with survives another 4.5 billion years. It might seem a little far-fetched, I know, but a girl can dream, can't she? All right, before I leave you, I want all of you to do me a favor. Take a deep breath and repeat this affirmation after me. I am powerful. I am free. I am divine. I am capable. I am woman. On that note, I want to thank all of you for joining us for this special iWoman Report. Everyone, please stay healthy, stay happy, and stay safe.